Okay, welcome to English 1301. This is week 2. What we need to do this week is to go on to Blackboard, go to List of Assignments, go to the Assignment Paper 1 Tejano Passport. Once you're in that box, you're going to find your book readings, which you need to keep up with, and you're going to find a section that says Handouts. Go into Handouts and select the assignment sheet and open that and read the assignment sheet. Once you've read the assignment sheet, go back, click back once to where you've got all the content of the Tejano Passport folder and select the very thing at the bottom, which is a link to a website at the college. On this website, you're going to see a couple things. First, in the middle, you're going to see something that shows you how to do a QR code and allows you to scan in a QR code for the first time just for practice. You earn 5 points for that. Tejano Passport is a program where we get you out into the community in educational and cultural events, usually ones that you've never done before, and it's part of a comprehensive program where you can earn an honor for graduation if you accumulate 75 or 100 points. So I did it, I loved it, and I got my medallion, which since we faculty go to all the graduations, I love to wear. So everyone asks me where I got the medallion, and I tell them. You can choose not to participate in the Tejano Passport program, but you still have to do the QR code. You're going to open up on the right hand side. There's a list that gives you places that are educational and cultural in El Paso. Everything there is good except the Weiler Tramway is under repair at this time, so it's not open. Now, you're going to go to one of these places and you're going to write a narrative description. So if you go back to handouts, you will find the second handout on that list is one that talks to you about lists your 6 senses and where I went to the fountain on campus and I wrote down all the descriptive language I could and I wrote down a metaphor for each of my senses because the grading criteria are going to include, in addition to the standard, do you have an introduction, a body, a conclusion? The grading criteria are going to include that you use all 6 senses at least once and preferably more often as you go to your event, and that you use at least 2 metaphors in your paper. So now, if you don't live in El Paso, you live in Juarez, for example, or you live somewhere else in Texas or New Mexico, you can go to a comparable educational or cultural event in the community where you reside. Pretty much everywhere has things like museums, for example, and zoos. So you can go to something, you won't have a QR code for it, but all you have to do is take a selfie and send me that selfie, and I'll know that you went there. So you can just email the selfie to me that shows that you went to whatever location it is you're going to write about. Then you're going to go to one of these places. And you're going to need a system for taking notes to remember to use all 6 of your senses. And the 6th sense, by the way, is the perception of movement and your body in space that keeps us from collapsing into a puddle on the floor. Most people are not aware of that sense unless they have a disorder involving the sense. So go through my list on the handout that shows you when I went and sat in front of the fountain here at Valle Verde campus and how I separately recorded what I saw, what I heard. And by the way, to really hear things, sometimes you have to close your eyes and block out your sense of vision. And then you'll be surprised at what you can hear, what you can smell. Taste is the one sense where you may or may not have the opportunity to feel a sensation of taste in your mouth. It worked at Valle Verde because it's right next to the cafeteria, and I could just taste in my mouth the wonderful odors that were coming out of the cafeteria. You're going to need a system for taking notes. You can use something like the worksheet that I used. You could also take pictures, but remember to respect people's privacy. They don't always want their pictures taken. You can take notes while you're at the event, or you can sit down right after the event. Use your pictures to remind yourself. Likewise, videos on your phone just to remind yourself of what you've seen. So, the most important thing we need to do this week is to get you out there at one of these locations and for you to take as many notes as you can for each of your senses, all your sensory impressions. And then we will work on how you actually write this kind of paper. This paper, the first paper, is due on, I believe it's September 20th, which should be a Friday at midnight. And this week, focus on getting out there and taking a lot of notes. As usual, email me if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing all the places that you've been. I've been to all of them, but some of them I go to frequently because they change and I enjoy them. Okay, so have a good week and thank you very much.